Who doesn't love a holiday, right? It's something that most of us really look forward to, and for good reasons too. Holidays play an essential role in our physical, mental and spiritual health and well-being. One of the most important ways holidays do this is by helping us to de-stress. It's amazing how much stress we carry with us on a day-to-day basis without even noticing. All of us have our own version of stress. It could include job-related stress, such as the burden of meeting tight deadlines, workplace politics, or even being unemployed. It may be financial stress, including paying the bills and planning for your future. It may be stress from managing the complexities of running a household, growing a family, having to make crucial decisions all the time. It may be stress related to physical or mental illness, either your own or others. Or it may be stress related to anything else going on in your life. But regardless of the type of stress can have a negative effect on both our physical and mental health and well-being, from suppressing our immune system to increasing our weight to making us depressed and significantly shortening our life expectancy. Even people who claim to thrive on somewhat high pressure and high stressful lifestyles often admit that there are times when they just need to get away from it all. That's because holidays enable us to break that stress cycle by allowing us to become human beings instead of human doings once again. This includes not having any commitments or feeling any obligation that you need to be here or there, or trying to do 15 things at once, rushing from one thing to another. Being allows the constant inner chatter and never-ending mental to-do list to quieten down. Being allows us to shift from a constant thinking and living in our head to more so being more grounded and centered in our own physical bodies and our surrounds. And this is a big deal, especially when you consider that most of the negative stress that we experience in life is the result of our own thinking. So the more we can simply be and connect to the present, the more we de-stress and recharge our batteries. And the more you do this, the healthier and happier you are. Holidays also help us to gain perspective and move forward in life. Within the rush of life today, it is very easy to lose sight of the big picture, which can often leave us feeling flat. Holidays, however, allow us to step back from life and to form another perspective outside of our bubble of routine and work. Holidays can help us to refocus and reconnect with what is real and of true importance, and enable us to make key decisions that ensure that we keep moving forward with our life. Holidays also help us to boost our creativity and solve problems. Think about when you are the most creative. It's usually when you are doing things like taking a shower, going for a walk, and of course when you're on holidays. In fact, Einstein himself walked 1.5 miles to Princeton and back each day, a walk he considered precious when it came to finding solutions to some of life's most challenging questions. Why? Because anytime you are not thinking, you're in alignment with the present moment, which is creation itself. Holidays can boost creativity and help us to find solutions to our problems. Holidays can also help us to grow as a person. Holidays, and in particular traveling abroad, meeting different people, learning a new language, experiencing different cultures and seeing different scenery, all help to broaden your knowledge base and can help you to grow and better yourself as a person. In this way, traveling is so much more than an enjoyment. It's an investment in self-development. The more you travel, the more worldly you become. Holidays can also help to pull you out of a rut too. Whilst routine is important for adding structure and organization, too much of it can feel like Groundhog Day, and before you know it, you've gotten yourself into a rut. Especially if you haven't been on holiday in a long time. You get stuck on autopilot and become stale. We know that all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So what better way to escape the work routine than with a holiday? Even a short holiday can be enough to give you back your mojo and begin enjoying life again. Holidays are also important for bringing family and friends together as well. What is life really about? More so than anything else, it's about sharing good times and creating positive memories with family and friends. Just think of some of your best memories. I bet some involve being on holidays. But in today's culture of speed, the little time that we do get to spend with family and friends feels rushed between a daily grind of school, work and everything else going on. Holidays provide an opportunity to spend quality time with family and friends without the commitments or obligations. And this enables you to really be present and enjoy your time more fully with those who you love the most, all of which contributes positively to family bonding, communication and solidarity. And finally, holidays help you to rejuvenate your body. Whether it's sitting or standing in the same spot for prolonged periods of time using a computer, or whether it's being on the tools and doing hard physical labor, what we do each day can and does have an impact on our body. In fact, most of us carry some level of tension in our body. Some of us carry it through our shoulders, our neck, our chest, some in the lower back, the hips, or wherever else. Most of the time, we are not even aware of how much tension we carry because we have lived with it for so long that we just think it's normal. However, like all good athletes, sometimes we just need to stop and rest. And a holiday forces us to stop and give our bodies much needed rest and recovery that they need. The more replenished and healthier you become, the easier everything in life becomes. And so there you have it. Holidays are really important when it comes to living our healthiest and happiest lives. So now that you know why taking regular holidays is so important, I'll just want to share with you some tips around actually prioritizing and planning your holidays. Okay, so the first tip towards planning a holiday is to give yourself permission. If we don't allow ourselves to take a holiday, then it just won't happen. So never feel guilty about booking a holiday for yourself, because holidays are an essential part of your well-being, not a luxury. It's about loving yourself and putting yourself first. So give yourself permission to switch off, unwind and relax. After all, you deserve it. My next tip is to be intentional and plan ahead. We're all busy, right? But with enough forward planning, we can all take a holiday. We really can. So the first step is to embrace the possibility that you can go away and then just think about where you want to go. Second is to decide on how much time you want to spend away. Once you've done that, the next important thing is to put a date on it and lock it in and say that this is when I'm going to go away. Otherwise, before you know it, the year will creep away and you won't have organized anything. Also, take a moment to decide who you'll go away with. Will it be a holiday on your own or with your family and friends, or maybe you might do a tour. Once you have all this planned out, then speak to your boss and inform them of the dates that you're going to be away. Once it's locked in, then get others to cover your work or /shifts and organize whatever extra work you need to do before you go. The same applies if you work for yourself too. It's all possible, and it simply requires some forward thinking and planning. If you're not working or if you're retired, then you don't have to worry about any of this at all. Okay, you can just go. Next, plan a basic itinerary of what you want to do and make accommodation, transport arrangements, etc. early so that you don't miss out, and also that you can get the best rates. It's amazing how much money you can save. Companies such as Airbnb have made forward planning and booking a holiday easier and more affordable than ever before. But if you don't want the stress of planning and booking a holiday, then simply just consult a travel agent who can do all the hard and heavy lifting for you. Next is to organize and let go of your work life. If there's one thing it takes away from a holiday, it's having to worry about your work. You don't want to have employees or your boss, calling you with issues that need to be resolved. So if you do have a job or a business, then before you go, delegate what needs to be done whilst you're away and leave someone in charge of what you normally do. Turn off all of your email account notifications and set them up with an email autoresponder, and do the same on your phone messages as well. Even delegate all of your inbox messages before you go away, and also leave people to look after it for you so that when you get back, you do have an empty inbox as well. Organizing your work in this way will not only allow you to enjoy your holiday more, but will also mean that coming back to work after your holiday will be so much easier. It will also give you more confidence to go away on holidays more often, because you won't always be worrying about coming back to more work than before you left. a situation that makes going on holidays hardly worth it for many of us. Another tip when planning holidays is not to stay at home. Why? Because you'll always end up finding chores to do. Cleaning, painting, gardening, etc., etc. These are all things that can be done in your free time, not in your holiday time. Instead, holidays are about doing things that you don't normally do whilst you're at home and which you really enjoy. Even if it is just reading a book, staying in bed, or playing board games, you know, you're better off getting away for a few days to do them. So when you book your holiday, ensure to go somewhere that you're far enough away from home to switch off from everything, and in which you can't just come back home easily. Okay, so my next tip is to have a bucket list. Do you have a bucket list of the things that you want to do in this lifetime? And I'm talking more about a bucket list in the context of traveling here. For example, I've climbed the Eiffel Tower, I've been to the top of Europe, I've paraglided over the Austrian Alps, I've hiked Italy's gorgeous Cinque Terre, I've dived through the beautiful Great Barrier Reef, I've ridden in tuk-tuks through crazy Bangkok in the middle of the night, I've cruised the canals of the Oceania, I've fought, you know, the whitewater rapids of New Zealand's spectacular South Island, and I've eaten tapas and lazed on the beaches of beautiful Barcelona, and so many more experiences. And to be honest, I've only just scratched the surface, because there are still hundreds of places that I want to go and even more experiences that I want to have. What's my point here? My point is that time waits for no one. So it's important to be doing the things that you want to do whilst you can. And if you haven't got a bucket list, then create one and ensure to tick a few of those things off your list each and every year. Obviously aim to do the more physical ones like walking Kokoda Trail early rather than later in life, but also know that you're never really old to do anything. At the end of the day, you only live once, and so you should make the time to explore our beautiful planet, a planet which has countless beautiful and unique, you know, regions and countries and people and cultures and foods and everything else. So just make the most of it. And so this takes me on to my next tip, and that is to make your holiday an adventure. You know, life is really one big adventure, so why should your holiday be any different? I say that because research shows that holidays that involve new challenges and that push you out of your comfort zone not only build new synapses, but are also often the most beneficial when it comes to stress reduction and improved overall well-being. And sure, you can veg out at the pool for hours at a time if that's what you find the most relaxing, but be sure to stray outside of your resort, hotel or river hours and explore the beaten track a little. An adventure could just mean doing something differently to what you normally do. Possibly hire a camper van and hit the open roads. Or if you like the seas, then a cruise might be for you. Or maybe you could try a more physical holiday by doing a walking, a rowing or a cycling trek, and even camping along the way. If camping is too full on, then even give glamping a go. The ideas are limitless, so next time you book a holiday, consider trying something different and something a little more adventurous. Getting into nature is also great too. Not only is spending time in nature soothing for your soul, I love it, it also has the ability to restore your physical and mental health. So it makes sense to choose holiday destinations on the coast, in the hills, or anywhere where you can retreat to nature. There's nothing like a bit of vitamin C to help you feel better. Now, when many of us think of planning and taking holidays, we often do so for weeks at a time. And so my next tip is to mix up the duration of your holidays. In other words, to take, you know, overnight and short as opposed to only long holidays. And this can include a mix of day trips, you know, even a day at the beach can rejuvenate you. It can include mini breaks. This is like having a power nap and often involves spending a single night away. It can include weekend retreats, you know, a couple of nights away are really easy to plan around work and are a great way for getting away. And this is one of my favourite ways, and we do it at least every few months. We've also got short stays, which are 3 to 7 nights away. Short trips, a great way to relax and rest your mind. Then you've got long holidays, 1 to 6 weeks. Now we're talking, you feel relaxed and replenished after this break. And finally, then you've got travelling, which is 6 weeks or more, which is great to see and explore the great big world. Now, I said earlier that my favourite holidays are weekend retreats, and I just want to say that part of the reason for this is because we always have something to look forward to. In fact, the research tells us that it's the anticipation of a holiday that is more important than the actual holiday itself. So it really does make sense to break your holidays up throughout the year and have lots of small holidays rather than 1 or 2 big holidays. With that said, whilst it is healthy to feel, a heightened sense of excitement and anticipation towards any upcoming holiday, if you find yourself often hanging out for a holiday to the exclusion of everything else, then this may be a problem. The same is often true if you're someone who finds that it takes you a few days or even weeks to unwind when you do go on holidays. If you can relate to either of these, then what is it about your life that you're constantly wanting to escape from, or that takes a significant amount of time to unwind from? Is it your own thoughts? Is it your work? Is it your partner? Is it your kids? Or is it something else? Whatever it is, you need to ensure that you live true in a way that makes every day an enjoyable one, not just when you are on holidays. Otherwise, you're missing out on everything that goes in between those holidays, which is life itself. On top of being enjoyable, it also needs to be sustainable too. Otherwise, you'll find yourself in the same situation again. For example, if you're just working long hours and doing a job which is nothing more than a means to an end, for example, just for the money, then you'll always feel as if you need to go away on a holiday. But if you do a job that you love, then every day becomes enjoyable. So you don't feel the need to unwind from anything. So just remember, holidays are a necessity, not a luxury, for both your physical and your mental health and well-being. They help us to gain perspective on our problems, give us a break from our usual routines, and provide a chance to unwind and reconnect with family and friends. I don't know about you, but I'm already starting to plan my next holiday. So on average, how many days per year would you take holidays?
Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to learn more about the other essential attributes of staying in your best shape. And until next time, watch what you chew, do what you need to do, and always live true.